Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. I have had this thing in my Amazon list forever, and it just happened to go on sale on Prime Day for a couple $100 off, so I am hyped. Let's go ahead and open this up real quick. Here is the drone itself. I know it said Mini 3 in the title on Amazon, but man, this thing is small in person. It's light and it's plastic. Almost feels like a toy, but I think that's the whole point, is to make it light. And here is the RC controller. I needed this controller because I really didn't want to plug my phone into that adapter dongle thingy-majiggy. I would just rather, if I could afford it, just get the all-in-one consolidated RC. Look at this. This is built really well. Look at that screen. Oh man, I really like this. Looks clean. Okay, and we have one more thing in here, and it looks like it's probably booklets, honestly, and just like a USB cable. All right, let's take a look. So we have, ooh, some extended wing propeller thingies. We got extra ones. That's cool. And then what else we got here? Here it is. There's the manual that I'm not going to read because I'm going to watch a YouTube video on how to use this. And then we have another manual in different languages, I think. And then what else we got? We have this little adjustment tool thing. Okay, cool. That's neat. Then one more thing that's left inside, and it feels like, yep, USB-C to USB-C. All right, so that's used to charge both the RC controller and the drone itself. And it's also used to transfer data as well. Here's the box, some information on the side, and then there's the logo. Cool. All right, real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at the controller here. We got a left and a right joystick. We got a little button on the left side, and that is to go home and to pause the flight. You have on the right side a power button, and then you have the display there, right in the middle. Okay, and check this out. You got two bumpers on the top here. You see that one with the red dot at the top? That is the record button. And then the one with the camera icon, obviously at the bottom, is the shutter button, or taking a picture. And then right behind it, you got some wheels there. The one behind the record button is tilt, and the other one is zoom. You got some custom buttons on the back. If you can see there, on the right it says C1, on the left it says C2, which is, you can just custom program any button of your choice that you want back there, almost like a video game controller, which that's pretty neat. And here we have the drone itself. So all four corners here got propellers, super lightweight, but I think that's the point, to keep it nice and nimble when it moves. The camera was the main thing I'm really excited about. 4K 60 frames per second, which is awesome. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the back of this thing. There is a battery that kind of clicks into the back. Let me go ahead and take this sticker off. You got a USB-C and a micro SD card in order to import your information and charge the drone as well. So you can buy this guy in a few different options here. So you can get just the drone alone for $759 without the RC remote. I chose to get it with the RC remote, which is $909 USD, which I feel like is a fair price for the added convenience. So with these two right here, $909. All right, guys. So now that we got the unboxing out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pros and the cons of the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So first of all, let's go ahead and get started with the pros. So number one, first and foremost, which is one of the main reasons why I bought this drone, is that it's super lightweight and portable. I don't think I can stress how small this thing is. It's actually not too much bigger than my iPhone 12 Pro Max. It actually fits in the palm of my hand. I can actually easily carry it in a pants pocket, which is pretty cool. And then the next pro that I did want to talk about is the interface. So the user interface actually on the RC remote itself was really easy to use. It didn't take me too long, maybe a few hours, 2 to 3 if we're being exact, of me just watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos on how to take off, how to set home, the best settings for a cinematic video. So as someone who's never flown a drone before, the user interface and the first time experience was really awesome for me. Next thing I want to talk about is the camera and how I'm impressed by the camera quality. Now, up to 4K in 60 frames per second, it can do slow-mo, but only in 1080p. The camera is something that I'm pretty impressed by with a drone of such a small size, being able to get such cinematic video when I throw it into Final Cut and I throw the proper LUT on it. Man, this thing looks good, so that is absolutely a pro for me. And speaking of cinematic shots, if you go into the settings, there is a cinematic mode that you can shoot in, which kind of pulls the colors away when you're initially filming, but when you're throwing it back into Final Cut Pro, you can throw a LUT on top of it to really bring it to life in the way that you want to. And I really appreciate that it does have that cinematic mode in the settings for us to be able to do that in the first place. And the final pro, which is probably the biggest one for me, is it has active tracking built in, which is huge, especially for solo shoots when I'm doing product photography and I need to be on the move. Like for example, if I'm riding a bike, a motor scooter, or if I'm driving a car, I can set active tracking to me, I can hit go, press record, and I can not worry about it as far as controlling the drone, and I'm trusting that the drone is just following me at all times. And I've been able to get some really freaking cool shots with the active tracking, whether it's me walking up and down my street. I'm not gonna show that for security purposes, but like getting really cool shots of me driving my car, or you know, just a car overhead or anything cool like that. That's the thing that I would mainly use active tracking for. Alright guys, and let's get into the not so great things that I don't like about this drone. So cons, not too many, but I feel like they absolutely do need to be addressed. So when it comes to the cons, the first thing that I did notice that it doesn't come with everything necessary if your main objective for this drone is to shoot video. Here's why I'm gonna say that, is because when I went on my first flight, I think I was able to record maybe 1 minute worth of video before I started getting the pop-up saying your drone is out of space, like please insert a micro SD card. Come to realize there was not a micro SD card included with my drone and the RC controller. So I had to go back on Amazon and repurchase a separate SD card, which means I actually couldn't record video on my drone for about 48 hours because I didn't have the necessary storage available for it. Now, while we're on the topic of SD cards and things that aren't included with the drone, that is another con for me where I feel like you need a lot of accessories to really get the full experience. Now, while you can simply put it in your pants pocket like I do, I don't think that's really necessarily ideal if I'm out and about for long periods of time. So I would have appreciated that if it would came with some kind of case, as well as the battery life, I found out, sucks really bad. This is probably something I regret not looking into before getting the drone, because the battery life, when I say it sucks really bad, I'm talking about fly time and record time. It is literally 30 minutes. So you got 30 minutes to get your shot if you don't have any extra backup batteries. Now, DJI has something called the Fly More kit that comes with like a little charging station and 2 more batteries. But I think the Fly More kit is like $150 or something like that, just for the batteries. And the thing is, I'm afraid to look at other off-brand ones because I don't know how well they're gonna play with the drone, so I have to kind of go for the DJI branded ones, just because I'm a little iffy on buying off-brand things, especially for specific things like batteries. Some other accessories that I did want to talk about was I would probably get a screen protector for the RC controller. It's a really nice screen. I would hate for it to get scratched. So that's something that I would probably go on Amazon and pay a few dollars for. As well as one of my biggest fears is that I live around a lot of trees. So I'm always afraid the propellers are going to get caught in trees. So I did see a couple listings on Amazon for like these propeller bumpers that kind of protect the propellers, so when you're flying around, if it hits a tree, it'll just kind of just bump it and then move out of the way. The same way kind of like, you know when you go bowling and you have those bumpers for people who are kind of newbie? Yeah, same thing here. I would definitely invest in some bumpers.
But when it comes to accessories and things that are needed, here are the things that I would absolutely recommend. Number one, first and foremost, I think this is mandatory pretty much. You need a micro SD card. Number two, I would get a case for this guy. 3, extra batteries and the charging station, preferably the branded one, so the DJI Fly More kit. Number 4, I'd get the propeller bumpers for it as well. And then number 5, I would get the screen protector for the RC controller. Now, all of that stuff adds up on top of the drone and the RC controller itself. So I feel like when you buy the drone and the RC controller, it's like half of the package. The other half, you actually have to go out there and kind of search for accessories yourself. So here's what I'm gonna do. To make your guys' lives easier, I'm gonna put every accessory that I've bought for my drone in the description, all the exact ones that I've used. So everything that I just mentioned, I'll go ahead and throw it in the description so you don't have to go looking for it one by one. And that's really it, you guys. That is my review of the DJI Mini 3 Pro on a scale of 1 to 10. What I would give this drone, it's a great drone, honestly, and I think it's fairly priced. The fact that it doesn't come with the micro SD card, I really would have preferred it to, but it does exactly what it's intended to do, and for that fact, I would give it a solid 8.7 out of 10. I believe that's fair. I hope this helped you guys make your buying decision. Go ahead and leave a like in the comments, by the way, on this video. If you guys have any questions, we are happy to answer back, as our main purpose of this channel is to save you guys as much buckaroonies as possible. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. All right, take care of yourselves.